Right, so let's look at the C part of the question one. And it says in a diagram, the value of x plus y equals 220 degrees. Find the value of n. So we have this shape that looks like a triangle. And at the base, we have a straight line. We have learned that angles on a straight line sum up to 180. What we mean by angles on a straight line is, look at these two angles here. The x here is 180. So this is the diagram that they give us in the question. The x here is the x here, and then this angle here. There are two angles on a straight line. So it means when we add x to this angle here, we are supposed to get 180 degrees. Similarly, y here, when we add the angle here, this is the straight line that they are on. So when we add this y plus the angle that will be here, we have to get 180 degrees. Okay, so let's go back to our x. When we have x here, and then we have this angle here, since they will add, when we add them, we'll get 180. It also means that when we subtract x from 180 degrees, it has to give us the angle that will be here. Because when we add this to this, we are going to get 180. So if we want just this angle, we have to subtract x from 180 to get this angle. So that is what we have here. This angle will be 180 minus x, because when we add these two angles, we are going to get 180. So if we have x, if x has been given to us, we just have to subtract x from 180, and that will be the value of this angle here. So remember, angles on a straight line always sum up or add up to 180 degrees. Right, so let's move on. Now, the same thing that we did here. This angle also, it means that when we subtract y from 180, we will get this angle here as well, because this angle and this angle are on this straight line. And then we have a triangle here. We have learned that the total angles inside of a triangle, that is the angles within the triangle, when we add them up, that will also give us 180. So the angle here, which is n, plus the angle that we have gotten here, 180 minus y, then this angle here, 180 minus x. When we add these three angles together, it has to give us 180. That is what we mean by total interior angles. Interior means inside. So total interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. I hope you're okay. So first, we used the idea that this y is here to get this angle here in terms of y. So we wrote this angle in terms of y. That is, when we subtract y from 180 degrees, we will get this angle here. When we subtract x from 180 degrees, we are also going to get this angle here. And we also know that the total angles inside of a triangle, when we add them up, we are going to get 180. So let's do that. So we have 180 minus x, which is this angle, plus 180 minus y, which is this angle as well, and then n, so the angles within the triangle, this triangle that we have outlined with this black line. We have outlined it with a color black here. This triangle, the total angles inside of the triangle, that is this angle, this angle, this angle. When we add everything together, we are supposed to get 180. I hope you are following. All right, so now let's simplify it. Since this bracket, there is no negative sign here, you can just remove the brackets and then leave them in their individual terms. This bracket as well, there is no negative sign here. The sign here is positive. So we can just remove the brackets and then we won't be penalized because this is not a negative sign. This is plus, that is positive. So it won't affect any of the signs inside or any of the terms inside of these brackets. Then we have our plus n here. So we haven't done anything to our equation. We have just removed the brackets and then we equate it to our 180. We have learned that the equal to sign can be looked at as if it is a bridge. So we have the left hand side of the bridge and then the right hand side of the bridge. So let's continue. From here, I think we have to group like terms. So we bring the 180 to his friend here. So that's 180. It is positive. So when it comes here, it becomes 180 plus 180. And we have minus x here. It was minus x here. So it's still minus x. Then minus y. Then plus n equals 180. We are taking everything step by step. We don't want to jump steps. When you jump steps, you are going to lose marks. So take your time. Don't jump steps. You group like terms, then you simplify. Then you simplify further until you get to where you are going to get your solution or your final answer. So let's simplify further. So we add the 180 plus 180, and that will give us 360. 180 plus 180 is going to give us 360. You see, we haven't done anything extraordinary here. We are just simplifying. So we are taking it step by step. So let's move to the next step. All right. So this step, what we have done is we have brought the 180 on the right hand side to the left hand side. And then we have moved all the variables to this side. But in doing this, you have to be very careful because the bridges lined up, our equal to sign, they are lined up. So that will make our work easier for us. The 180 here was positive. So when it crosses the equal to sign, it has to become what? Negative. Now look at the variables. X was negative here. That is, we have negative x here. When it crosses the equal to sign, it becomes positive. Y was also negative here. So when it also crosses the equal to sign, it also has to be what? Positive. And then we have n. N was positive here. So when it crosses the equal to sign, n will become what? Negative. So when you are doing that, you have to be careful. I could have chosen to bring the 360 here, so that it would have been 180 minus 360. But I decided that I want to bring the variables to the right hand side, and then I'll take the numbers or the constants to the left hand side of the bridge. So let's simplify further. 360 minus 180 will give us what? 180. It's as simple as that. 360 minus 180. You know how to do your addition and subtraction. So 360 minus 180 is 180. Then we have x plus y here minus n. But we have learnt, it was in the question, it was stated in the question that x plus y equals 220 degrees. So straight away, we can just substitute 220 degrees inside of our equation. Yes, so but x plus y is equal to 220. So all that we do is, wherever we see x plus y, we just insert or we substitute 220 degrees there. And that is what we have done here. We have replaced x plus y here with 220. So we have 180 degrees is equal to 220 minus n. This 220 is what has substituted this x plus y here. The question did not tell us to find x. It did not tell us to find y. All that it wanted us to find was n. So that is what we are doing. We just replace x plus y with what? 220. So with this, you have to solve a lot of questions to know what to do. That is why I keep telling you with mathematics, you have to solve a lot of questions. When you solve a lot of questions and you see some particular questions, you know that, no, this is how I have to approach it. Else, you are going to go a long way before you arrive at the solution. Meanwhile, there's an easier way to uh, get your solution. So try and solve a lot of questions. From here, all that we have to do is what? Group in our like terms. So we can bring the n to the left hand side. Then we take the 180 to the right hand side. N is negative here. So when we bring it to the left hand side, it becomes what? Positive. 180 is positive here. So when we bring it to the right hand side, it also becomes negative. Then from there, you can do your subtraction. You know that 220 minus 180 will give you 40. And then don't forget your degree sign. We have learned that n is an angle. You see in the diagram here, it represents an angle. So when you are writing the value of that particular angle, you have to bring the degree sign. All right. Then when you are done, you bring your therefore statement. Therefore, n is 40 degrees. Then you finalize everything. All right.